Alright, but everything should be good. We have our tools, we have our scissors, and our box cutter to open these up real quick. So we're going to open up one of them right now, right out of the gate. And now the autofocus should be fine. I tried to fix the autofocus for like 35 minutes because it wasn't working, because I didn't want to have to manually focus again. Because for those of you who know, sometimes when I open stuff, I do the manual focus, and that's just a big old thing. That's a big old nugget, and I don't want to have to deal with that today. So just crack and open this bad boy right here. Schlam. With the knife. Well, we're going to move this all the way up here, shall we? Move it up here in frame, just so we're good. I don't care about the boxes. We'll destroy those as we do. Bam, we've got all the little tiny miniatures in their little respective bubble wrap. And we're going to readjust this down here a little bit because I want this to be able to see more stuff. So I'm going to have to readjust the arm here for the webcam because I want you guys to be able to see all this stuff. And there we go. Move that down a bit. Perfect. Perfect. It's probably going to do the autofocus thing now for a little bit because it's crazy and I can't get it to stop. But there we go. Look at that. It's in frame, actually. So we got another one of these huge gorillons. I call them gorillons, but they're gorillons. They're huge. I have a few of these guys already. The big figures are usually pretty tough to get out of the box because they got these little push-in areas that keep them secure. But this is the big gorillon. Let's see if it'll autofocus on them for you. Autofocus. There you go. Oh, autofocus. Come on. Come on, do your thing. Come on. You're almost there. You're almost there. Come on, buddy. Do it. Do it. Do it. Yeah, doesn't want to do it today. But there's the gorillon. Oh, we had it for a second there. But yeah, he's just essentially a giant gorilla with 4 arms. Smashes stuff. He's good. Big silverback. We had it in focus there for a second. We'll move on to the smaller stuff. The smaller stuff is what we're here for anyway. Let's see. And we got... oh! A Yuan Ti Broodguard. So we got the little Yuan Ti Broodguard. Let's see if we can't get this guy in focus. The tinier guys are going to be way in focus. Can we get him? There we go. Oh, hold on. I might actually have to do this manual, despite me not wanting to do it manual, because the autofocus is not being my friend today, for whatever reason. Come on. Even if I put everything up here, like everything in frame, still can't focus. Come on. What if I take that hand away? Yeah, it focuses for like half a second, then it defocuses. I don't know what's up with that. Apparently the drivers for the Logitech webcam I'm using are absolute garbo, so who knows. We'll just have to focus this manually then. I wish it was a lot easier. There we go. There we go. Manual focus. Look at that. So that's the Yuan Ti Broodguard. Tiny little guy. Part of the snake people. The Sneeple, if you will. That you can find in some of the areas of Chult. If it's also, like, not obvious, there's probably going to be some spoilery bits when we talk about some of the monsters here in a little bit. Maybe some popping of some stuff. Oh, just got a classic Chalten Zombie. Look at that. Straight up. Charred. He looks a little charred. He looks a little sunburnt. That's fine, though. Chalten Zombie. Need more zombies. Always can have enough zombies. Can't ever have enough zombies. That's just how we do. And then I already know what this guy is because I recognize him because I've got a few of him already. But we got the little boy, the little red cap goblin. Little red cap. He's cute. He's wonderful. He's got a little sickle. They've encountered a few of these guys before. They look like garden gnomes. Look at that. He's cute. He's wonderful. He's great. I love him. Toss the garbage off to the side. And we'll crack open the next box. I'm not going to worry about keeping the things down here in focus, because if we're bringing all the miniatures up here, might as well just keep everything up here in focus. That's the only problem with autofocus. You can never trust it. But thankfully, with the box cutter, we make everything super good Super clean, super easy to open. As we toss all the garbage to the side, because I'll clean it up later. Because I am a heathen. And who do we got here? Ooh. I think I have one of these guys already. One of these big wind guys. Let's see. Pop that out. Toss the garbage. A Dow. Or a Deo. I think it's a Dow. But yeah. It's a, I'm pretty sure that's like a wind elemental monster of sorts that you can sort of find around. I think it's supposed to be one of the traps. Like one of the trap monsters in the dungeon of Chult there. Yeah, I like it. Look at that. I'm pretty sure I have one of those already. It's been a while because some of the larger figures I only have one of. And then there's like a bunch of smaller figures I have 0 of that I've gotten over the boxes over the years. Let's see here now. Oh yeah! The Veggie Pygmy Chiefs. I got a couple Veggie Pygmies. Here's a little boy right here, Veggie Pygmy. He's just like a tiny little kind of plant guy. Don't worry, we'll read about these guys in a bit once we're done cracking open the boxes. We'll talk about the monsters and how cool they are and what they can do. The Dow looks really cool, yeah. Also, hello, Sludge On. Welcome. And then we've got... Oh, Nanny Poo Poo. So Nanny Poo Poo is a specific character in the campaign. And my players actually just defeated her. So... It's a shame that I just got her. She's a hag, though, so you can use her in place of any hag, kinda. But yeah, look at that. It's a shame we got her after we defeated her. But, such as you go. And then I'm pretty sure this is just a fire newt. Yep. Look at that. Little fire newt. I like the fire newts. They're cool. They're little orange lizard guys. They like fire. They're newts. They're tough. They're great. I don't know if they're actually like tough. I just like calling them tough because they're lizards. And that's what I call all lizards. All lizards are tough. Alright, so then we'll crack open this box. I should really use the knife off screen as to not promote the usage of knives. Nanny Popo. Interesting name. It's Nanny Poo Poo. P-U-P-U. And yeah, it is an interesting name, especially for the type of character she is. Gonna have to get the box open here. There we go. I was gonna say I have to get the stuff off the side here. Oh, that's new. What have I got here? Well, we'll dump the smaller miniature figures. What have we got here? And toss the plastic. And this is a Commodon? That's weird. Its bottom isn't the same. A Commodon. Oh, it's like one of those jaguar Medusa things. It's got like snakes for its head. That's pretty cool. I've never seen one of those before. I haven't looked in the book entirely yet for all the monsters of Chult, because we're not there, but look at that. That's pretty cool, eh? I like that. That's really cool. Glad I got it. We'll keep the big monsters separated from our little monsters here. And then in this one we got... Oh, I think this is a Tabaxi Minstrel, I think. And we have Tabaxi Minstrel. Look at that. I called it through the box. There we go, Tabaxi Minstrel. There you go. Look at that. If you ever wanted to play a bard, a Catman bard, there you go. You got a Catman bard. Look at that. NPC or player character. Like it. Furry or not, he can still play the instrument. And then what do we got in this tiny little bag here? Oh, a goblin. Nice. Just a little Bytree goblin. Or Batiri. I always forget how to say the name because I only ever looked at the name at the bottom of the thing. But these are like the little goblins that are native to Chult. They're cool. Batiri goblin. I don't know if it's Bytree or Batiri. The letters are a little too small on the bottom there. But you can never have enough goblins. Regardless of where they come from. Regardless of the race or species of goblin. You can never have enough goblins. And here we go. Another Chalten Zombie. Look at that. Can never have enough zombies. Chalten Zombie. Now this is weird, right? Because if you take a look at this, they're two different. They're different. Right? One is painted on, one isn't. So that must mean the original print and then second printing. At some point, they've done that. So let's see, we've cracked open 3 boxes already, huh? Wow. Right, I shouldn't do this on camera. Shouldn't operate the knives on camera. As much as I would love to, I don't want to, just in case. Don't want to advocate. Don't want to advocate for that near knife use. What if somebody goes willy-nilly all with them knives? And they'll be like, that Mr. Beef, he told me to use the knife. I saw him do it on stream. And I'll be like, I never done told you to eat no knives. Oh, nice. I think that's an assassin vine. Let's just see if we can't pop this bad boy out. There we go. Ditched plastic. Yeah, check that out, eh? Oh, no, it's a man trap. Oh. It's a man trap. Let's see. Yeah, let me move this thing over here so I can actually see the chat here. Just because I had everything arranged in such a terrible fashion. Alright, so we'll click this here so I can... There we go. We'll click that so I can at least keep up with the chat and keep up with the focusing when I need to. So the man trap, yeah? Check it. Check it. That's super dope. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. It's like a thing that looks like a plant, and then if things get too close, it eats them. It's kind of like a Venus flytrap. Yo! Yo, did we get more bird dudes? Did we get bird person? Hello. Yes, I am bird person. Yeah, we did. We got more Ashara. These are bird people. Look at that. They're like really cool phoenix-winged bird people. Their stick's a little bent, but that's fine. Maybe the thing's malleable. But they got like the little thing on the back here, the plastic thing, so they can appear to be flying. I like that guy. I like that guy. Could be an NPC, could be a player character. Always good to have options. As long as your imagination is running wild, then your character can be anything you want. Let's see here now. Oh, here we go. Just straight up orc. Just an orc. Can never have enough orcs. Look at that bad boy. I'm going to move him over here. There you go. Look at that bad boy. Look at that orc. He's got that sweet sword. It's good. Orcs, another thing you can never have enough of. Regardless. Oh, and I got a tiny little guy here. What is he? What is he? What is he? What is he? Oh, these things. Oh, I got another one. Okay, so on my first run through of all this stuff, my headphones fell off. I'm sorry. I got one of these guys. Now, these guys are called Zorbos. Now, Zorbos are little pieces of garbage. We'll talk about them later, but the best part is they look like little tiny Ewok kind of things. Right? They look like little koala bears, koala Ewoks. And they actually have the ability to shred your armor class. So if they hit you, you lose 1 permanent AC. So if you're wearing like plate mail or have a shield or something and they slash you, whatever piece you choose, so it can be your buckler, your shield, your armor, whatever it may be, you can elect which piece of it loses 1 AC, but it loses it permanently. I think in order to fix it, you have to do something not really special, but you have to actually get it like repaired at a blacksmith, which is really hard to do. Oh man, I got another one of these guys. Another huge big old boyo. Well, I guess those guys just wanted to jump out. Spoilers. Spoilers for a little bit of up and coming. But this is a Terra Folk. I already have a Terra Folk. I was really hoping to get a Acerarch, the giant lich, of the bad guy. He's the big bad guy of the campaign, but couldn't get him. So there you go. Look at that Terra Folk. Really dope. He's got his mouth open like, yeah. He's gonna swoop down and eat y'all. It's great. And then I think this is another red cap. Oh, or maybe not. Oh, is it a fire newt? It's hard. Where's the opening? Ah, I rip you open. Because I can't find it. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, it's just another fire newt. Except this one's got like a little fireball in his hand. That's cool. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Look at that boy. Look at that boy. He's so cute. I like him. He's the best. And then these two guys down here, they're the same. These are called the Aldani. So the Aldani are lobster creatures that were thought to go extinct in the area of Chult. But my players have found a couple of these guys before. They're not necessarily evil. They're not necessarily like aggressive towards people, so you don't have to kill them if you don't want to. But yeah, they're pretty cool. They're lobster guys. So what I'm going to do is we're going to switch over to, from the webcam, we're going to take these guys out of here, and we're going to switch over to the, let's see here, Logitech, bam. We're going to switch over to the web browser here, and we're going to talk about some monsters, because monsters are great. Monsters are wonderful. So we're just going to go probably by alphabetical. We don't really need to talk about everything here, but there's certain creatures that I do want to talk about that'd be pretty cool to talk about here in this video. Those lobsters look cute. They are pretty cool. They're pretty cool. They're pretty chill-ish. They're pretty chill-ish creatures. But, yeah. So hopefully everybody can see everything here. The PDF that I used for DMing the campaign, it unfortunately did not have the monster section. It literally just had these 2 pages, and that was it. So I'm using some online reference here that you can turn the swiping on and off on. So if you have like a, you know, if you want the audio, it's there. If you don't, you don't have to have it. But there you go. I don't think you guys can hear the audio of it anyway. But yeah, the lobsters are really cool, the Eldani. But the Eldani are actually this next page. So we'll probably just go in alphabetical. And there's your Almirage, people who like playing Yu-Gi-Oh! You can definitely play Salamangreat Almirage. But we got the Almirage there. So yeah, so for the Eldani, that's the artist symbol. There's the picture of the Eldani right there. Can I like zoom in? Is there a zoom function? Can I press like plus? No. Oh, nope. Plus brings that up. Don't want to bring that up. Plus is bad. But yeah, so where are they here? Assassin Vine, Atropal. I think they should be on this picture. No, where were they? Almirage, Artist Simber. Oh, the Eldani were on this page. Oh, okay. I thought they would be on the next one. So many Chalten natives can recall childhood fables of the Eldani, the eerie lobster folk that lived in the rivers and lakes of their homeland. As there have been no sightings of the Eldani in years, it is widely believed they were wiped out. In truth, many Eldani survived and retreated to the lakes of the Eldani Basin in the heart of Chult. An Eldani looks like a giant lobster that walks upright. Its face is mostly encased in armor, looking almost humanoid except for its long eye stalks. Despite their frightful appearance, Eldani avoid conflict. Reclusive and xenophobic, they hide in their lakes and rivers. So they really don't like outside people at all. And they're not very, like, high level either. They've got like a 14 AC. They've got 49 hit points roughly. You know, you can always roll their hit points if you'd like. But they're only a challenge rating of 1, so a group of adventuring parties of 1, so 4 players at first level, should be able to take this thing down relatively okay. Right, for the lobster folk. So the Eldani are always pretty cool. I really like them. They probably will pop up more in the campaign that we're running, but you never know. You never know. So let's see, what else do we have here? I'm just trying to go for, like, alphabetical order as best we can. Let's see, the Dow is probably next, I'm guessing. Maybe Tabaxi Minstrel's not. Orc. We don't need to talk about the Orc. We know orcs. Orcs are orcs. Orcs be orcs be orcs. Right? Zorbos we'll talk about. Yeah, we'll talk about all the big figures we got. The Terra Folk, everything like that. Yeah. The Fire Newts are cool. Nanny Poo Poo. Yeah, we'll talk about Nanny Poo Poo too. Red Cap. Yeah, so we'll just keep flipping until we find the next guy. We have stuff. I've gotten, I think, other things like Assassin or Artemis Cimber, I think. I didn't get any Brontosaurus. I mean, I think they're colossal or gigantic. I forget what size they are. Let's see. Oh, gargantuan. That's it. They're gargantuan. The Twingo are pretty cute. These little black things are the Twingo. We didn't get any figures for them, but they are really cool. I've been able to use them in the campaign that I'm running for my friends. And they're actually really cute. They can freak out the players though, which is great because you can kind of make them a little scary. Not that they're intending to be scary. Remember, they don't like the Twinga. They don't intend to be scary or impose fear. But you know, it's just how you do. Dragonbait. I've got a few figures of Dragonbait there. These guys here, the Eblee. God, the Eblee are friggin' nasty. I love them. They're great. Let's see, Dimetrodon, Iblis, Fire Newt Warrior. Yeah, here we go. Here's the Fire Newts. So In regions that contain hot springs, volcanic activity, or similar hot and wet conditions, fire newts might be found. These humanoid amphibians live in a militaristic theocracy that reveres, what's that, Imix? I guess Imix, the Prince of Evil Fire, yeah. So that's their god, or their godlike patron that they worship, sort of, or revere, I guess. This veneration of Imix leads fire newts to be aggressive, wrathful, and cruel. Fire newt warlocks of Imix command fire newt warriors to prove their worth by going on raids to bring back treasure and captives. The warlocks take the choicest loot as a tithe to Imix. Sorry, the text is really small here, and I don't know how to zoom in. Unfortunately. I wish I could... Oh, here we go. Zoom in. Bam. Perfect. Nice. I can read now. I can read! I can fight! That's not the full line, but it's from Fairly Odd Parents. When they go back in time, when Timmy goes back in time, and he finds King Arthur, and he's like a little nerd, and he can't see. He's like, I can't fight the dragon, I can't see. I don't have glasses. And then he gets glasses, and he turns into a huge, like, Herculean figure. It's great. Let's see. The warlocks take the choicest loot as a tithe to Imix, and then those who participated in the raid divide the rest according to merit. Prisoners that have no apparent usefulness are sacrificed to Imix and then eaten. Those that are deemed capable of mining and performing other chores around the fire newt lair are kept as slaves for a while before meeting the same fate. So I guess, as long as you pose some sort of usefulness to the fire newts, they'll keep you, right? They're all challenge rating a 1, so they're pretty much the same as the Aldani, but fire newts usually go in like packs. Right? They're usually in groups. They, if a fire newt warlock of Imix, right, if it commands fire newt warriors, the fire newt warriors are half challenge, so you're probably going to have some sort of warlock, surrounded by who knows how many, probably 4 to 10 fire newt warriors, depending. But that can be pretty scary. And then you got your flying monkeys. I love me some flying monkeys. Flying monkeys are great. Yeah, let's see here now. Let's start flipping. Flip again. Frogmoth. Giant turtle. Gorillin. Oh, there's the gorillin. There you go. We can read about the gorillin here. Let's slap this in. A gorillin looks like an oversized four-armed ape with gray skin and white fur. Although they are adept climbers, these half-ton creatures shy away from scaling trees that can't support their bulk. Instead, they stalk the forest floor, lurk in narrow ravines or shallow caves, or hide in ruined sites while waiting for prey to come near. So, my players have found a couple gorillins, unfortunately. I don't remember if they fought them. I think they did fight them, but it proved pretty difficult because they were a challenge rating of 4, which means 4 adventurers, roughly 4 adventurers at level 4. This is, a large challenge for them. But yeah, so they got multi-attack, bite, and claw. They're pretty good. They got a decent health pool at like 59. They're really fast too. Like, you might not think those big silver apes that you saw were fast, but they're pretty fast. We'll zoom out. Let's see here now. What else we got? The grungs are pretty cool too. The wildlings are awesome. Oh, here we go. Here's the Kamadan. I thought this was the Jakuli. But it's not. So let's go ahead and read about the Kamadan. Let's see. A Kamadan, or pronounced Kamadan, or Kamadan. I guess it's Kamadan. Okay. So it's Kamadan. Is a feline predator that resembles a leopard with 6 snakes sprouting from its shoulders. Although it bears a passing resemblance to a displacer beast, the two creatures are unrelated, though some sages claim otherwise. Kamadans typically hunt alone or in mated pairs. They can exhale clouds of sleep gas, which they typically do before entering melee combat. If a Kamadan has both conscious and unconscious enemies within striking range, it tries to kill the conscious enemies first before finishing off any sleeping foes. So this gives you a little bit of their background, right? A little bit of their fighting tactics. Pretty nasty creatures, the Kamadan. Yeah, I mean, if it tries to put things to sleep, and then it attacks whatever's still awake, and then finishes off the sleeping ones. It's a pretty easy tactic, right? Anything that's on the floor sleeping is probably not going to be any range, of a threat. So they're challenge rating 4, which is pretty tough, pretty rough. 67 HP. They're pretty bulky, it looks like. Let's see, do they have any resistances or anything? Nope. They do have pounce, though. So if it moves at least 20 feet straight forward towards a creature, hits it with a claw attack on the same turn, that target must succeed on a DC 13 strength saving throw or be knocked prone. If the target is knocked prone, the Kamadan can make 2 attacks, one with its bite and one with its snakes, against it as a bonus action. So if this thing pounces you, you're going to get slashed like a claw. You're going to get clawed, you're going to get bit, and you're going to get snaked. So if this thing manages to get you, it's not going to be a happy time. It's you're going to be pretty tore up, right? Especially because it's bite, it's decent. And if you're knocked prone, all the melee attacks are at advantage. So it's rolling with advantage. The Kamadan makes 2 attacks, one with its bite or claw, and one with its snakes. So it always attacks with snakes, it looks like, and then so it's bite or claw, then snakes. The snakes... it does piercing damage, and then the target must make a DC 12 Constitution saving throw, taking 21 poison damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. And then the sleep breath. The Kamadan exhales sleep gas in a 30-foot cone. Each creature in that area must succeed on a DC 12 Constitution saving throw or fall unconscious for 10 minutes. This effect ends for a creature if it takes damage or someone uses it as an action to wake it up. So yeah. So if this has got a 30-foot cone. That's a huge radius, which means it can do a 30-foot cone on its action as like a sneak attack and then jump in and do a bunch of stuff. So if these things are waiting for you in the jungle and they know you're going to be coming by, especially if they're in a mated pair, ooh, goddamn, that'd be rough. If these things were in a mated pair and they were hunting you down, even at 4 adventurers, you'd have to make 2 saving throws. And then if you fail 1, you're unconscious. So, but it is only DC 12 though, so it's not too rough. That'd be really, really, really bad if it was a lot higher. Let's see. Oh, here we go. The man trap. We got one of these. Got that man trap. It's a giant carnivorous plant that resembles an oversized fly trap. To attract prey, the man trap releases a pollen that magically draws creatures to it. Though it will snap its leafy jaws shut around any warm-blooded creature that strays within its reach. It prefers humanoid prey. So this thing prefers to eat people, or people-ish. Right? It's a challenge rating of 1, so it's not that bad. It's attractive pollen. When the man trap detects any creatures nearby, it can use its reaction to release pollen out of a 30-foot radius. Any beast or humanoid within the area must succeed on a DC 11 wisdom throw. So it's not that hard, right? And its false appearance, it remains motionless. It's indistinguishable. So as long as it's remaining still, you can't tell it's a man trap. It looks just like any other plant. Or any other plant of its relative size, right? You wouldn't be able to just say, oh, hey, that's the thing. So it's also got engulf. Oh, here we go. Let's see. The target is trapped inside the man trap's leafy jaws. While trapped in this way, the target is blinded and restrained, has total cover from attacks and other effects outside the man trap, and takes 14 acid damage at the start of each target's turn. If the man trap dies, the creature inside it is no longer restrained. A man trap can only engulf 1 creature at a time. So it ignores non-humans? No, it doesn't ignore non-humans. It says it enjoys humanoid prey. So remember that Tabaxi minstrel we had that we pulled? The cat bard? It would eat that because the Tabaxi is humanoid, right? It prefers things that are human-ish. So any of your player characters usually are going to be human-ish. Goblins, I think, are humanoids, things like that. Anything that's got like 2 legs, 2 arms, walks around, is usually warm-blooded, is not a beast, right? It will eat anything that gets too close, right? It says that. It'll shut it around any warm-blooded creature. So if even like if a jaguar, let's say, just comes by and walks through it, it'll eat a jaguar, right? It's not gonna forego a meal, right? It's not gonna just let a meal go by. Oh, here we go. Terra Folk. Nice. So yeah, it prefers eating human-like creatures. Like Tabaxi, like humans, probably orcs too. Things of that nature. It might even want to eat the Eldani if it got a chance. I don't think the Eldani would ever be near it. But here we go, the Terra Folk. These big guys here. I love the way the Terra Folk look as depicted in the art. They're super crazy, and I love it. They remind me of... I forget what they remind me of, but they super remind me of it. Kind of Psychro. Their faces remind me of Psychro from Earthworm Jim a little bit. So Terra Folk, pronounced Terra Folk, or Terra Folk, right? Like Pterodon, are 10-foot-tall winged reptilian bipeds native to Chult. Malevolent isolationists, they regard most other creatures as their enemies. In Chalten culture, Terra Folk are often referred to as Terror Folk for their habit of swooping down from the sky to snatch whatever or whomever they can, then transporting treasure and food back to their roosts. Terra Folk have 20-foot wingspans and give birth to live young. Ancient rituals once bestowed upon Terra Folk the ability to assume the forms of pteranodons and wingless lizard folk, but those rituals have long been forgotten. So they used to be a lot more terrifying. For sure. Quetzalcoatlus? Well, we haven't seen Quetzalcoatlus. Not yet, anyway. Haha. So let's see, and then we'll flip it here. We got Rasnasi traits. Stone Juggernaut. All the Sioux monsters. They're crazy. Tabaxi Hunter. Here we go, Tabaxi Minstrel. Why don't you look at that? Let's take a little bit of Tabaxis. Here we go. Actually, the Tabaxi's also on the other page here. Yeah, here we go. So we'll read the entry for Tabaxi because we got it. Because we got a Tabaxi Hunter. Tabaxi are catfolk who hail from the land of Mastica, the ultimate wanderers. Tabaxi rarely stay in one place for long. They love to collect interesting artifacts, gather tales, and lay eyes on all the world's wonders. This curiosity pushes them to leave no secrets uncovered, and no treasures or legends lost. They revere a fickle deity called the Cat Lord, who is said to wander the world. And then we'll just flip the page so we can get to the rest of the Tabaxi. Tabaxi hunters are trained to survive in the wild, making them excellent guides. Tabaxi minstrels gather in small groups or small troops to make themselves at home in any settlement, earning coin through music and storytelling. So yeah, these guys are definitely wanderers of the world. They like traveling, they like seeing things, they like uncovering mysteries. Very inquisitive. They're curious cats. The Tabaxis are curious cats. I love that. And so yeah. I mean, here's some names. Tabaxi name typically has a single name determined by his or her clan and based on a complex formula involving astrology, prophecy, clan history, etc., right? Sample Tabaxi names include Eggs, or Leaf, or Onyx, or Lost. So, like, yeah, pretty... What's your name? Eggs. My name's Eggs. Because I like eating eggs. So yeah, the Tabaxi Minstrel, challenge rating of 1/4. Once again, they're usually not enemies you'd fight. I mean, you could fight these characters, but you could also make just a Tabaxi Bard on your own time, and then just use that in place if you wanted to have a stronger Tabaxi Minstrel, right? Give them a bit better stats, things like that. But that's just on your own merits. You know, you want to have that just on your own. But they do have claws. They usually do carry darts. They can inspire people. Feline agility, which is a part of the Tabaxi things. When the Tabaxi moves on its turn in combat, it can double its speed until the end of turn. Once it uses this ability, Tabaxi can't use it again until it moves 0 feet on one of its turns. So Tabaxis are crazy agile. Like, super crazy, stupid agile. And that's what kind of makes them a little scary. Because... just because, yeah, it's they can run super fast. Eggs is best name ever. Eggs is a good name. Eggs is great. We actually had, in one of our previous campaigns, there we go, I was going to say in one of our previous dungeons. In one of our previous campaigns, we actually had 2 of our players make an adventuring duo together. So they made 2 characters. One of them was called Egg, and one of them was called Dunk. And they were kind of a big deal. That was their whole thing. So they were adventuring together. They were an adventuring party, an adventuring duo, and their whole thing was they were folk heroes because they slayed, I think it was Humongous the Filthy, right? So they killed Humongous the Filthy, and because of that, they are now like folk heroes. And so they go around being like, "My name's Egg, he's Dunk, we're kind of a big deal." And then it was pretty good. It was pretty. They were fun characters to play with. They were great. But the fact that a Tabaxi can have a name Eggs, it just reminded me of that. It's wonderful. I miss Egg and Dunk, honestly. We couldn't finish that campaign for reasons, but I do miss it. So, did we miss the Dow? I'm pretty sure we might have missed the Dow here. Hold on. Where was the Dow? Gotta find me the Dow, if the Dow's even in here. This is just the Dow could have existed beforehand, right? Yeah, so the Dow must be in a different rulebook other than the Tomb of Annihilation rulebook. So the Dao existed beforehand, so we won't read about the Dao because I can't hunt them down. But we'll also try and find the... What's that? Yeah, the Bitiri Goblins. Did we also skip past the Bitiri Goblins? No, okay. The Bitiri Goblins must just be regular goblin-esque creatures. Let's see here now. What else we got? Commodon, Kobold, Scale Sorcerer. Those are pretty cool. Rosnasi, Tabaxi Hunter. The Veggie Pygmies. Okay, so yeah, we'll read on the Veggie Pygmies too, because we pulled a couple of those guys. I got a Veggie Pygmy Chief. I didn't get any regular Veggie Pygmies, but who cares? They're all Veggie Pygmies. They're all tiny little grass men. I think I got 3 Chiefs and 1 regular guy. I think I just keep getting Veggie Pygmy Chiefs and not any regular guys. So let's see here now. Let's increase this here. There we go. Veggie Pygmies, also called mold folk or moldies, are fungus creatures that inhabit dark areas that are warm and wet, including underground caves and dense forests, where little sunlight penetrates. Although they prefer to eat fresh meat, bone, and blood, Veggie Pygmies can absorb nutrients from soil and many forms of organic material, meaning that they rarely go hungry. A Veggie Pygmy can hiss and make other noises by forcing air through its mouth, but it can't speak in a conventional sense. Among themselves, Veggie Pygmies communicate by hissing, gestures, and rhythmic tapping of the body. Veggie Pygmies build and craft little. Any gear they have is acquired from other creatures or built by copying simple construction they have witnessed. As a Veggie Pygmy ages, it grows tougher and develops spore clusters on its body. Spore-bearing Veggie Pygmies become chiefs. A Veggie Pygmy chief can expel its spores in a burst, infecting nearby creatures. So I guess the older they get, the more toxic they get. But Veggie Pygmies are like a quarter CR. So if you're throwing 4 of these at players, that'd be a CR 1. Right? Their hit points are 9. Veggie Pygmy has an advantage on dexterity stealth checks to make it. It makes in any terrain with ample obscuring plant life. So any place that's got like a good enough area of plant life, these guys get extra stealth checks on that. They get extra stealth roll for advantage. Regeneration. The Veggie Pygmy regains 3 hit points at the start of its turn. If it takes cold, fire, or necrotic damage, this trait doesn't function at the start of the Veggie Pygmy's next turn. The Veggie Pygmy dies only if it starts its turn with 0 hit points. So they've got this. They're not a troll essentially, but they do have that troll-like regeneration. Trolls are nasty for their known for their regeneration. But yeah, so if they get hit with cold, fire, or necrotic, so pretty much anything they're weak to. I mean, I guess they're not really weak to those things. They have resistance to lightning and piercing. But they don't have, I guess they don't take double damage from fire or anything? But they do just have claws and a sling. Nothing special about the Veggie Pygmy itself. But the Veggie Pygmy Chief, though, let's take a look at that. And I didn't get a single raptor, too. Damn, I was hoping for the raptors. Oh, hold on, what was that about? Let's see here now. Oh, okay, so apparently somebody got locked out. So I'm going to have to go let them in. I'll be back in just a moment. I have to go let somebody in the house because they locked themselves out. Alright, they're in. They're good. Everything's great. Oh boy. So where were we? The Velociraptors. Oh yeah, I was talking about how I didn't even get a Velociraptor. I was upset by that, man. I wanted a raptor. I didn't have any. Let's see here now. Let's see, we were doing Veggie Pygmy Chief. So he's a challenge rating at 2, so the Chiefs are pretty up there for sure. Armor class 14, hit points 33, not too bad. They got resistance to lightning and piercing. Ooh, piercing. Alright. They got the same thing, regeneration and plant camouflage. Multi-attack. Ooh. But they have the spores once per day. A 15-foot radius cloud of toxic spores extends out from the Veggie Pygmy. The spores spread around corners. Each creature in that area that isn't a plant must succeed on a DC 12 con saving throw or be poisoned. While poisoned in this way, a target takes 9 poison damage at the start of each of its turns. A target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. So yeah, you're basically guaranteed to get 9 damage out of that if they fail their first throw. Which is nasty, man. It's nasty. Yellow Musk Creepers, the Yuan T Broodguard. I think we got one of those, right? The little tiny boy? Yeah, Yuan T Broodguard. Let's talk about that little punk. Let's see here now. The Yuan T Broodguard. Here we go. Broodguards are humanoids transformed by Yuan Ti into simple-minded, scaly creatures that do their master's bidding. The transformation process warps not only a subject's body, but also its mind, making it instinctively obey any Yuan Ti and filling it with a seething rage that rises at the sight of non-reptilian creatures. Although Broodguards have low intelligence, they are able to perform simple yet important tasks, such as guarding eggs or patrolling for intruders. Broodguards can speak, but rarely do so, preferring to use snake-like hisses and guttural noises. So that little snake-like guy, I guess, used to be some sort of humanoid creature that had been warped by a lot of badness, a lot of bad stuff that happened to come through. Which sucks, man. I always hate hearing the stories in D&D that's like, yeah, this thing used to be a human, and then bad things happened. Deal with it. And then you got Yuan Ti Nightmakers, Zindar, Gorilla Zombie. Here we go, the Zorbos. Oh, my favorite things to talk about, these little punks. Look at that little Ewok-looking guy. Look at him. Look at that Zorbo. Look at how garbage he is. So, a Zorbo, pronounced Zorbo, is a ferocious omnivore similar in size and appearance to a koala. Living in trees and caves, it has long claws, a dour disposition, and a fondness for humanoid flesh. Once again, another one of those creatures that prefers eating human-like things. Let's see. A Zorbo alters its natural armor to match its surroundings, and it can weaken and destroy armor, shields, and protective magic items with its sharp claws. So that's a Tyrannosaurus zombie. We don't talk about that. We talk about the Zorbo, a small monstrosity. Its armor class is 10. They're not hard to hit, but they are a challenge rating of half. But their challenge rating of a half isn't where, their massive threat lies. Their massive threat lies in their magic resistance, has advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. Zorbo is just an ugly Ewok? Exactly. 100%. A hundo. That is a hundo. Right? And they have natural armor. The Zorbo magically absorbs the natural strength of its surroundings, adjusting its armor class based on the material it's standing or climbing on. 15 for wood, 17 for earth or stone, 19 for metal. If the Zorbo isn't in contact with any of these substances, its AC is 10. So if you can somehow throw this thing in the air, it gets an AC 10. These are basically just like the toss-me's of the Chalten. But you don't want to get too close to them though sometimes, because here's why. Destructive claws, melee weapon attack. It's only +3 to hit. So they have to be right next to you to hit you with 5 feet. It only does 8 damage, slashing damage. But if the target is a creature wearing armor, carrying a shield, or in possession of a magic item that improves its AC, it must make a DC 11 dexterity saving throw. So there's a lot of ways to make sure you don't lose this 1 AC. But if it happens, if you fail to save one such item worn or carried by the creature, the target's choice, so you get to choose, as the player, you get to choose, magically deteriorates, taking a permanent and cumulative -1 penalty to the AC it offers. And the Zorbo gains a +1 bonus to AC until the start of its next turn. Armor reduced to an AC of 10, or a shield or magic item that drops to 0 AC is destroyed. So to kill it easier, you just have to yeet it. Exactly. It's the yeetus deletus. You yeet this thing and then you hit it in midair. If you can. Or cast a spell that suspends it somehow, or who knows. Lasso it with a rope and then pull it up around a tree. But yeah, so that's pretty much all the stuff from inside here. There is Nanny Poo Poo. I don't think can I search on this? Can I search? Let's see if I can search here. Page 0. Hold on. Did I spell her name right? Oh, no. That's 2 N's. 2 N's. There we go. Let's see. I think it's page 74, I think, is the one. So we'll talk about Nanny Poo Poo a little bit here. Yeah, here we go. Here's Nanny Poo Poo. So yeah, we'll just plop this down here. So Nanny Poo Poo is a green hag, plays the part of an ancient crone to the hilt. She claims that all the other villagers were killed over the course of many years by winged creatures that live on the south side of the plateau. She is the only survivor, too stringy or too wily for the predators. She lives on the roots in her garden and the few birds and lizards she catches in snares. If asked her name, she needs several moments to recall that the village called her Nanny Poo Poo. The hag wants two things from the adventurers: for them to destroy the nest of Terra Folk on the south side of the plateau, and then to become her meals for several months. She's not likely to attack them openly. She'd rather get them off their guard and pick them off one by one, as she did with the villagers. Nanny Poo Poo isn't entirely alone. With a whistle, she calls forth 2d6 flying monkeys that live in the trees, and she has a flesh golem buried in her shallow grave outside her small hut. The hag uses the flying monkeys to gather food and supplies, but they won't fight for her. The golem will, however, it erupts from the earth as a bonus action if commanded to attack. So yeah, the players can encounter Nanny Poo Poo, the hag, in multiple different ways. Depending on which character you've chosen, because there's a bunch of NPCs you can pick to have be as your like Chalten guide in the jungle. A couple of them want to go see Nanny Poo Poo for reasons. One of them is to kill her. One of them is to consult her, and there's a bunch of different ways you can see her. A big one is that she has the right of stolen life, so she can actually resurrect one of your dead party members. Essentially resurrect, quotes, hint, hint, kind of stuff. So there's a lot of reasons why you'd want to cross her path, but, eventually she'll probably, try and kill you, and then that's when the fight ensues and whatnot. So there's a lot of reasons why you'd want to try and get around to Nanny Poo Poo, which yeah, so my players had managed to defeat her because they had the help of their NPC guide, and also they had the help of what was it? It's not an automaton, a shield guardian. They also had a shield guardian that they found and managed to get the controlling amulet of. Let's see, flesh golem, so it's not something like a zombie. No, a flesh golem isn't actually like a zombie. A flesh golem is a construct. It's a Frankenstein, essentially. So it's not a zombie. It's animated, like it's an animated construct made from different parts. So it's hard to say because it's like, oh yeah, well that's a zombie, but not really, because zombies, once they're resurrected, usually can't be controlled. They can. There's ways to control them, but yeah, when you think of flesh golem, think of Frankenstein's monster kind of thing. An amalgamation of different parts from dead people sewn together, sometimes properly, sometimes in a weird mass, but usually it comes together like some sort of bipedal creature. Do we have like a quick flesh golem picture in here? No, they wouldn't have a flesh golem picture in here. But yeah, so this was just something I wanted to do because it would be fun, just a little quick 45-minute stream just to open up some things. I was really hoping I'd be able to get the let's see here now. What page was it now? Let's go here. Let's search for it here. What? That's not how you spell his name? What? All right, let's just do this. Oh no, I forgot about that. Let's see here now. So page 200 and something, I think it was, right? For that, I was hoping to get Acerarch or Acerarch. Let's see, page 253. Oh, that's handout. Let's go to page 222. All right, here we go. Back to the monsters area, because yeah, I just want to show you guys Acerarch or Acerarch. I don't know how to say it. We'll find out together. Let's see, where is he? Isn't there a big picture of him like right next to his thing? Oh, it's Acer. It's like Acerarch. 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 I don't know how to say it, but Acerarch. Or it could be like Acerarch, right? If you just take ACE as Ace and then Acerarch. I don't know. I'll look it up later. But yeah, so I was hoping he's the big guy on the cover. Actually, I could do that too. If they're not going to show me like a thing, but that's him right there. He's the big bad, and I was hoping to get him as a figure so I could have him for the big bad or anything related to him. But I didn't even get any raptors, man. I wanted some raptors so I could do some raptoring, have some raptors at the behest of everything, and just start throwing raptors and dinosaurs at people. But you can't get all the dinosaurs. Some of the dinosaurs are too big for the boxes and such. So you wouldn't be able to have that. But yeah, so thank you all for joining me on this just quick little stream. I just wanted to have like a cool little unboxing thing where, you know, I did a cool little bit with, you know, just a cool little bit with opening some boxes of stuff that I was interested in. And just talking about the monsters that we got inside. You know, hopefully this gave you, maybe if you're playing, you know, Tomb of Annihilation, hopefully if you're DMing Tomb of Annihilation, this gave you something, maybe a little bit of nuggets of wisdom. Maybe, you know, maybe if you haven't even played D&D in a while, maybe this makes you want to get back into it, you know, maybe online or something. You know, do it online so you can get a group going there, because I know we're still in the, as the Grumps affectionately call it, the Backstreet Boys reunion tour. We're almost they're playing their final set, I think. They're playing their final set. So hopefully their concerts will be done and people will be able to go interact with others again. But yeah, so thank you all for joining me. I know this was a quick little short weird stream that I usually don't do, but it was just something fun I wanted to do. And there'll be the VOD up on the YouTube channel probably tomorrow. So yeah, thank you all for joining me, and I'll probably do a stream in the next couple days of some more Galaxy of Pen and Paper, because I need to get back to that. I want to get back to that. It's super fun, having a super good time. So just keep glued to Twitter, you know, for those notifications. I usually try and post a few hours before I go live, so that way you guys can see it before, you know, it actually happens. And then I try and post a reminder when it happens. That way you hopefully get notified. I know the internet doesn't like to notify people of anything anymore, of people who don't have thousands of subs or thousands of followers. So I do appreciate when you guys can make it. But thanks for joining me, and until next time, take care, everybody.